Hey, welcome everybody to the next episode of Talk Smack with Mac. I'm very, very excited and lucky to have this next guest on my show. It's online fitness coach Lukas Duncan with LBD Training. I've previously worked with this guy and did his 8-week program, and let me tell you, it kicked my ass. Every single day, I was sore. Whatever muscle groups I was working with, I knew I hit it, and I hit it hard. This guy's training plan is no joke. Lukas, how you doing?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me on. I appreciate the time. I'm doing good.
I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
In Vegas, it's 1:15 today, so I'm trying to stay my ass in the house.
Yeah.
It's miserable.
That's crazy.
But you're an online fitness coach. Before we get strictly into that, I wanted to ask you, how did you get started with lifting weights?
For sure.
And where did you get that intensity from?
Man, how did I get started? I could talk about this forever. So I got started working out when I was 50. So I'm 30. I turned 31 in like 2 months. So I started working out when I was 15. And my kind of story is, and I'm not anything crazy, but I started working out when I was 15 because I was playing high school football. So I wanted to get bigger for high school football. And then me and my first girlfriend, so my girlfriend at the time, she dumped me. So I kind of like wanted to let go of some anger and frustration. So that was my initial reason for going to the gym, to like, look better, to kind of get back at her. And then, high school football. I'm in Missouri, and I know in Vegas too, bro. You got the number one. I don't know if the number one now, but Bishop Gorman.
Yeah, Bishop Gorman is there.
Yeah, yeah. They're still like the best, right?
They're always ranked among the top high school teams in the country.
Yeah. So what I was getting at with that though, in Missouri, the high school I went to was super serious on weight training in the off season, and like we would like do strength and conditioning stuff year round. Okay. So I kind of like was pushed into that through football. So I started weight training at 155 pounds. And then like the first 3 months, I gained like 40 pounds, bro. So as soon as I started, I bulked like a bulk, Mm-hmm. So I saw quick results. So I got hooked. So I initially started working out then, and then I got into bodybuilding. And I did bodybuilding shows from 18 to 25 years old. So I did like 8 shows total. Mm-hmm. And during this time, I was mainly working just normal jobs. Like I was pursuing, trying to be a professional bodybuilder, but I just was working. I worked at Walmart for 2 years, a furniture store. My family has I'm Greek, so my family has restaurants, like Greek restaurants. I would help out there. But while pursuing bodybuilding, I didn't really have a career per se. And so the thing that changed, kind of at 23, when I was 23, I was working at Walmart, and this is an inspiring story. Your listeners will like the story. So I was working at Walmart. I was 23, and I had a new manager who was kind of like into fitness. And you got to realize I'm huge, bro. I'm like 300 pounds, like huge bodybuilder. I mean, I'm still a big guy, but I was like competing, so I was really big then. And my manager came up to me, who was like in his 30s and into fitness. He was like, dude, he was like, why are you working here? And I was like, well, what do you mean? I need to make money. And he was like, why don't you do something in the fitness area? And I've always kind of wanted to thought about being a personal trainer and stuff, but I always was hesitant. I was scared. I didn't have confidence and stuff to kind of put myself out there. Because people think like bodybuilders, they like to show off. Most bodybuilders, they just do it as like an outlet. They don't actually like to pose and get on stage and stuff. You know what I mean? They do it as an outlet because they got other problems or issues, just like everyone else, but they use the gym as an outlet to kind of like let go of that stuff. But I was like, well, I don't know. Like, what should I do? And he was like, yeah, you need to do something in fitness and something you're passionate about and something that you enjoy, not just stock shelves at Walmart. And that was my manager, like store manager. And I was like, oh man, I actually need to like quit being a wuss and like actually, start doing something. So I started my business when I was 23. So 7 years ago, next month actually, is when I started LBD training. Mm-hmm. So when I started, I did online and in gym, both. And then this was in 2013. And then, so I did both for like 2.5 years. And then when my online got so big and so many people, I quit in gym and then just moved solely to online. And I kind of hit the whole Instagram wave, like right when it was getting super hot, like 2016, 17.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's still hot, but I hit it because now like everyone's a fitness coach. I kind of hit it before the huge, wave of fitness coaches. So, and that was in 2016 and 17. So when my online got so big, I stopped in gym, and then I've been doing online training, online coaching only for, the last 4 years, but I've had my business for 7 years. So that's kind of how I got into it though. So I started working out for football. I became obsessed with bodybuilding. I did bodybuilding shows. So that's kind of like, I always tell people, it sounds funny, but people are like, bro, did you ever compete? Or they're like, who are you? I just say, Google me, dude. I'll pop up all over, like my old bodybuilding stuff,
Yeah.
So that's how I got into it. I got into fitness really like through bodybuilding. And then I just parlayed that into, a career, I guess you could say. Because I could never work a normal job. I've been fired from like 5 jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could completely relate to that. That's part of the reason why I started the podcast thing, because I love
100%.
sports. I feel like my opinion in sports is pretty validated. I do the research. I watch a lot of different sports, and I watch them in detail. And I'm like, you know what? If he is doing that, why can't I? So that's what drove me to try this, and I'm pretty excited with the start so far. But what I wanted to ask you is, how long did you start lifting weights before you said, okay, football, I'm done?
That's a good question, bro. And how many people ask me that? That's a really good question. That's a really good question because, dude, it was fast. Because I knew I'm a different case. I knew I never even wanted to go to college. I didn't go to college.
Mm-hmm.
And I never wanted to play college football because I even remember back then my mindset was, dude, college football, to play in college, you got to really love football. And I never really loved football. I just loved hitting people and like letting that aggression go. You know what I'm saying? I never was like I liked football, but I just loved like going as hard as I love football. The same reason I like the gym. It's the one place where you can like be an animal and it's accepted. Because in the gym, you're supposed to go balls out. And in football, you need to go as hard as you can. Where in life, if you go as hard as you can, like physically, you're going to end up in jail. You know what I mean? So I'm not like as much as like that anymore. But back then, like I needed to let go of some like anger and aggression. So I was never like super passionate about football. I would say, dude, it was probably like, as soon as I joined a Gold's Gym in Columbia, Missouri, I got hooked right away, bro. It was in 2007. So like 13 years ago when I was 17. So I would say about a year into working out, once I saw very quick results too. Like I gained a lot of muscle quickly and like naturally, and I didn't even know what I was doing. Like food wise, I would just eat a ton of food. So I would say, I remember before my senior year of football too. So I'm 17 at this point. I told my coach, like, I didn't even really want to play. I wanted to, by my senior year of high school, I was like 100% bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I remember I didn't even want to play that year. My coach, like, encouraged me to play though, but I was like way more into bodybuilding. So like late junior, senior year, I knew I wanted to like pursue bodybuilding.
Okay. So it was probably a year and a half, maybe.
After I started initially working out.
Yeah.
It was like a year.
I'm sure, man, that success is contagious and it's a wonderful feeling. So seeing that success in bodybuilding just probably was just like, man, screw that. I want to take on this challenge.
Dude, it's funny because when I started working out, I remember I was 155 or 160, and I remember I gained like 40 pounds over the summer. So
holy crap.
Yeah. So the kids at school like didn't see me over the summer. And then I remember when I came back to school in the fall, they were like, "Oh, dude, have you seen that Lukas Duncan kid? Like have you seen Lukas? He like gained so much weight, so much size." And I was like, I went from like 155 to like 190 or 200 over the summer. This was when I was like 16, 17. So I remember thinking that, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. Like I'm getting attention and stuff." And then I just got hooked on bodybuilding. I wasn't doing it like to get back at the chick or for I just got hooked with the look and everything,
So after you got hooked, when did you start competing actually? Were you amateur or did you actually go pro?
No, I've never been pro. So
okay.
Yeah. But if people ask,
shit, you could have fooled me, man.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing now with social media. So in bodybuilding now, though, you'll still have people competing, like chasing their pro card. And I'm like, dude, no one cares if you're pro or not, as long as you look legit, and it doesn't matter if you're pro. So now the guys competing now are just like passionate about it. Because a lot of these dudes who do like what I do too, like, Joey Swole. I'm sure you know Joey Swole.
I do, yeah.
Have you seen his stuff?
I don't have him on Instagram, but
Really?
I've seen in the past, yeah.
Okay. I'm promoting another coach. No, but he's one of the top dudes on IG. Bro, he's like competed one time a long time ago, where you can have like Mr. Olympia, like the top bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't always like parlay into so no, I wasn't a professional, but what was your question? When did I start bodybuilding? So about 2 years. I did my first show at 18 and a half.
18
I remember.
and a half.
Yeah.
Did you have to be 18 or was
No. So I waited. So I did my first show because I waited till after I graduated high school.
Okay.
Because the preparation to get ready for a show, bro, you're eating every 2 hours, like doing double sessions in the gym. You could go to school, but I didn't really. I wanted to wait till I was done with high school. And then I did the teenage division, and I did open men's. But my first show, I was like 198. So I was already like, I've always been big since I started working out. Yeah. But my first show, I cut like 80 pounds.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I was 280 when I started my first diet. And not like 280. I was 280, not fat, but definitely holding a lot of body fat.
You cut 80 pounds over a span of how long?
26 weeks, that diet. Yeah. So now I don't really bulk cut anymore. Even though I am cutting for my birthday, because I had to be in better shape for my birthday. I may come back to Vegas, actually. But so I was 280, and I cut to 198 over a 26-week period for my first show. And then just over the course of, the 8 years following, I just, did the same thing, bulked up, added more muscle, cut down. And the last show I did was in 2014. And I was like 250 on stage. So 250 all shredded. Okay. Yeah, so I gained a lot of, so my first show 198, my last show I did 250.
252 pounds of muscle. That's insane. How tall are you?
Yeah, I'm 5'10".
Oh shit. Yeah. I've seen your pictures, man. You're huge when you post your competing pictures. So it's.
Oh, you've seen them before.
Yeah. I follow you on my regular Instagram, and I just started following you on my podcast one.
Okay.
But I've been following you like 2 years, so I've seen you post often.
So when you were first started following me, where did I live?
I'm pretty sure it was Missouri still.
Was it Missouri still? Okay, because I moved out of Missouri in 2017. January 2017, I moved out of Missouri. And then I just came back here in November, or basically like January this year.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I was out of Missouri for like 3 years.
Yeah. All right. So another question I wanted to ask you, and this one I was pretty excited for. Right. I know you had a big injury. What exactly was that injury?
Okay. So the injury was a bilateral rupture of my quadricep tendons. I can show you. I don't know if I should show you. I can show you my knee. Show you this first. How do you turn this around? I don't want to mess anything up. Oh, wait, right here. Okay, right here. So you see the scar there. So the quadricep tendon is right here, bro. It's the top of above your knee, and the patella tendon. A lot of football guys get their patella blown out. That's right here.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much the same thing. Okay, let me turn it back up. So I did that. That was a freak injury, and that definitely was a huge event in my life, obviously.
Yeah, I'm sure it really deteriorated you mentally and physically.
Oh, bro, it was probably like the most depressing time I've been. So I'll tell a little about it though.
Yeah.
So that was in 2015, July 2015. It's like 5 years now, coming up in a couple of days. It was like the middle of July. And it was just a freak injury while I was squatting. So I was squatting heavy weight, and my knees just snapped because I was like dehydrated that day too. And I've also had knee problems in the past. Like I played baseball and football growing up. So from like third grade through high school, I played baseball and football pretty much. Football through high school and baseball up until like sophomore year. And I was a catcher too in baseball.
Okay. So you're putting a lot of pressure on your knees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've been working out for a long time with heavy weight. Like when I tore my quads, I was been already working out for like 9 years. So when I tore them though, oh yeah, it was definitely a hard time mentally. The recovery process took like over a year. Like I still, that's why people like, if they see my pictures and they dog my legs, I'm like, bro, you have no
Yeah, you have no idea what the hell I went through just to be up here lifting again.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm definitely thankful and I appreciate it because it was a very hard time. So this injury, like I said, a lot of athletes will get the patella, but a quadricep tendon, like if people want to Google quadricep tendon, rupture of the quadricep tendon, like it's pretty rare for younger people. A lot of the athletes who get patella, I mean, that's rare too, dude. When like a wide receiver tears the patella tendon, like you follow NFL?
Yes, I do.
The Giants, Victor Cruz, Victor Cruz?
Yeah, Mr. Salsa himself.
Yeah, he tore his patella, didn't he?
I don't know exactly what he tore, but I know he went
patella.
from dominating and having one hell of a career to just being out of the league.
Yeah, he got injured. But for me, yeah, so the recovery takes like over a year. But the biggest thing is like initially, like I was bedridden for like a month. Because what it does is you can't, like your tendon tears. So you can't even feel your leg. Like it's just completely straight. And you can't flex your quad to like bend your knee or anything. It's pretty it was definitely a very traumatic time. But the biggest takeaway point is, so during this time, I had my business. I was like 2 years into having my business, so working for myself already. But I wasn't like thriving. I was just getting by. And I was still, putting all my efforts and focus towards my bodybuilding. So when I got injured, it kind of, I tell people now, I look back at it as a blessing in disguise, because it allowed me to focus all my energy and efforts towards my clients and building my business instead of me as a bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying? So I remember like that. So it was in July 2015. And then that next month, August 2015, was my best month with like number of clients signed. Like was my best month in sales the month after I got injured.
The
was my best
irony
month
in
at the
that.
time,
Yeah.
Because I was able to focus my energy towards that. Because if I never got injured, dude, I would still be competing and chasing the bodybuilding dream, which is fine. But there's no money in bodybuilding. It's not like a business. These bodybuilders who are, making lots of money and doing well for themselves, they do it through other avenues, like online coaching, or they got sponsors. They're business people. They don't just step on stage and win a ton of money. Like and there's no salaries in professional bodybuilding. Like the overall winner, the number one bodybuilder in the world, Mr. Olympia, he gets $400,000 from Mr. Olympia. So that's like the top guy, though.
Yeah.
There's tons of professionals that don't make any. Like only the top 6 in these shows make money. It's not like a lot of money. It's probably similar to kind of like fighting, except way worse, even. Yeah. Way worse. Because a lot of these professionals, like if there's 20 guys in a show and they get 8, they don't make any money. And you spend all this money. So it's a passion thing. So no, when I got injured, it made me refocus my purpose in life, I guess you could say. And that was 5 years ago. So, but that was definitely a huge event. And then it also has helped me now, because when I have clients who sign up and say, oh, I have injuries or I have a knee problem, I'm like, dude, I know how you can work around it for the most part. So some people need to actually be seen in person by like a physical therapist. Yeah. But as far as like knee problems and other stuff, I'm able to do pretty much every exercise right now. I'm able to do pretty much everything. I just don't push myself as hard as I used to.
Yeah, with how heavy you would go.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm always trying to like, get better and stuff and build my legs more, but I'm not trying to like be huge like I was.
Yeah.
So I still train
right now.
I'm like 250. I'm 250. I was 255 this morning.
Okay.
And I'm cutting for my birthday.
And what are you trying to cut down to?
240. I want to be 240. And my birthday's in the middle of September.
Okay, so you
So
got a little bit of time. You got
yeah,
some
I
work to do,
got
but I'm assuming you're already lean as hell, so it's gonna be a little tough try to get 15
I'm
more
okay.
pounds.
I'm okay. I'm going to use it as an opportunity to document though,
Yeah.
you know, and hopefully like, help motivate other people and show, because most of the time I'll post my workouts and stuff, but I haven't really been like really, really really lean in a while.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. But I'll fluctuate anywhere from like 240 to like 265, depending on how many slices of pizza I eat. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But
you put in the work for so many years, so you deserve that slice of pizza every now
yeah,
and again.
that's the thing too. When people see me, they're like, I mean, I still train really hard or whatever. But like, dude, when you have as much muscle as I had when I was competing, like you don't just lose muscle very easy. So that's why I mean I'm always gonna be a big dude as long as I work out and eat,
Hmm.
protein or whatever. But yeah, so that's kind of yeah, it was very severe. The quadricep tendon did not many people, older people, but so it was just a freak injury while squatting, and it definitely changed my trajectory
Yeah.
in life. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely understand that. One thing I wanted to ask about the injury, but more specifically to the audience listening and your fans, when somebody is facing adversity like that in life, especially with an injury as severe as yours was, what can you do or what can you recommend to somebody facing that much adversity on how they can overcome that?
Well, the first thing I'll say is I'm lucky that I had a good support system. So at the time I was I don't know if I was married when it happened. No, but I was with my ex-girlfriend, ex-wife. So she helped me out a lot. My family, I'm super close to my family.
Hmm.
They live like 2 hours from me, but I'm Greek, so I got a huge Greek family. Then I'm super close to like, my mom, dad, I have a mom and dad, sister and brother, so they all helped me. So first, I had a really good support system. If you don't have that, then you're screwed. Just give up. No, just kidding. But that was the first thing. So I'm very lucky that I had people around me who helped me. And the second thing is I always had, what's the word? Not a vision, but like a long-term. I kind of always had my eyes on the prize. So I always told myself, there's people who have it way worse. I'm just happy, like I'm going to recover and not have, it's not like I'm never going to walk again. An injury is a very bad injury, the one I had. But, most things, I mean, you're recover from everything, you're not
Yeah.
gonna die. And for me, like I wasn't gonna get my legs cut off, like I was gonna be fine, and then, the people who, and the real, and it was nothing compared to a lot of people, so I was recover. So I always had like my in thing. And even people who like, don't, have like, their amputees, I'm sure they're saying, well, I'm still alive. You know what I mean? So you always
Exactly.
have to keep positive. So, dude, my injury was nothing compared to a lot of people. So I always like tried to stay positive. I had a good support system, tried to stay positive. And then honestly, though, when I was injured, I would watch two movies like all the time. So I would like rewatch these two movies.
Which ones?
Uh, Furry Fury, the tank movie.
Yeah, with Brad Pitt.
Yeah. So I would watch that one over and over. I'm talking like, I watched like probably like 20 to 40 times because I was just in my bed like all day. I was in my bed all day for like 4 to 6 weeks before I could drive a car or anything.
Yeah.
So I'd watch that one, and then I'd watch this movie called Birdman with Michael Keaton.
I haven't seen that one.
Dude, it's an amazing movie. So it's all shot in one shot.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Hey,
really,
that's a lot of respect to everybody involved with just going through one time. That's
dude,
ridiculous.
it's weird. It's a weird, but it's really good. So those two movies I rewatch all the time. I
Write
had a
that
good
down
support
so I can
system.
watch
I
it.
stayed positive. And then as soon as I could do something, I did. Oh, I'll say something too. If you get injured, always try to don't eat as much as you would if you're training. Because I gained some weight and some fat, but that was one thing I did try to keep in check, my eating. So always try to control the variables you can control, you know. So when I was injured, obviously I couldn't do any exercise. So I lowered my eating a little bit. And then as soon as I was able to go back to the gym, I think it was like 7 or 8 weeks post injury, I went back to the gym and just did like super light upper body stuff just to move. But the biggest thing is stay positive and, control what you can control is really, even if you're like alone, you got nobody helping you, like, dude, you got to like somehow know that there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, it's not going to last forever.
Yeah, it's not going to last forever, 100%.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And there's always people in worse situations too.
Mm-hmm.
So be thankful for what you have. And like I said, I was super lucky. Like I had a really good group. I remember I had like a lot of friends help me because at the beginning I couldn't even. So my legs were completely straight, so I couldn't even like get up to go to the bathroom. I remember that being.
You're a big man.
Yeah, I was bigger when I got too.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I was bigger than I am now. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny, right?
Yeah, you must have had one hell of a support system.
I really did. I would have friends come over because they had to pick my legs up and then like put me standing so I could go to the bath. This was like for 4 weeks after I got injured.
Yeah.
I had a really good group of friends and my family. I remember like my family they would drive like, I lived 3 hours away. I lived in Springfield, Missouri when this happened. They would drive like 3 hours and stay for a couple of days, like on and off. So, no, I was super lucky. But yeah, knowing that, you can get through any situation, the biggest thing is you got to be in the right headspace,
mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was very traumatic to go through for sure. I wouldn't wish that injury upon anybody.
I can only imagine,
Yeah.
I've had shoulder surgery, but I feel like that was nothing in comparison to having both of my knees blown out.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, hats off to you. That sounded like one hell of a time.
It's funny when I got injured, I was like, man, would I rather have both my legs or both my arms like incapacitated or not be able to move?
Yeah.
Like both your legs or both your arms? I don't know. Because think about not being able to move, like use your hands on stuff. That'd be pretty bad too.
Oh man, yeah, that's a tough one. If I have a really good support system, I'm taking no legs.
Because you can have your hands.
Yeah, I can have my hands. I can have everybody bring everything to me. I could kind of.
That's true. Yeah.
But no support system and not being able to move just sounds like it.
That's funny. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. No, I'm lucky, bro. I got a really good support system.
All right, so I want to talk to you about your training program. So, like I said, I've worked with you before, and yeah, man, I got my ass kicked to put it mildly. Every single day I was hitting it hard, and I was sore as fuck. I'll put it honest with you.
It was challenging.
Yes, it was. Trying to get through the 20 rep sets. I would never, if I would go to the gym and just work out, I would never expect to do that many reps and sets together. And I could definitely tell the difference. So I'm excited. I just signed up for another 8 weeks with you.
Yes, sir.
And that should be starting next week. And I'm pretty pumped. But what can you tell the audience about your training program and kind of what to expect?
So what to expect. It's a good question. Most people in the interview me, they don't really ask for that either. What to expect is, it's funny. A lot of people, well, first of all, what I do is I provide diet and workout plans for people all over the world. It's a written plan you follow through email. It's a personalized plan that's tailored for you and your goals. And, the two biggest things my plan or my coaching provides is a structured routine to follow. So, what to eat, what workouts to do, and accountability. And that's the thing I want to talk about kind of the most is accountability is when you send me your check-in and I make changes to your plan as needed, or if you're making good progress, you don't make any changes. So what a lot of people, have online is like ebooks or programs. And what I do is like actual coaching where you can ask me questions and then you send me your update. And like I said, I make changes. So so what you can expect is it's a personalized plan set for you. And a lot of people will ask about that too. Well, how is it personalized? So that's the questionnaire. But here's the thing about this, and it's good that, I'm talking to a client too, so I can explain it to you too. So when you sign up on the questionnaire, if you just put like general info, or you'll be surprised, but I have clients who sign up, they put like one-word answers. If you give me that, then there's really not much I can, I always give you the best plan. So on the questionnaire, like it asks for food preferences or
Mm-hmm.
food you don't like. So if you don't put anything, then I'm going to assume you can eat anything, and I'm going to give you the best diet that I think is going to work the best. So that's something
Let me jump in there right now because that's perfect what you just said. So the first time I signed up with you, I was like, man, gung ho, just really excited, ready to go. And I did that. I was like, man, you could make me eat whatever and I'm good to go. Well, let me tell you what, hardcore people, hats off to you. That's badass. If you can eat chicken breasts and just rice and just broccoli and shit every day, you're going to look like a fucking animal. Me personally, it got challenging, and I did pretty good. I seen some awesome gains, and I stuck to the meal plan as best as I could. But I would have went crazy, me personally, continuing with that. So when I just signed up again this time, I was like, hey man, I like this, this, and this. I was like, I like almonds, I like fruit, bananas, apples. I told you exactly what I wanted. And I am excited to see exactly how it's going to be customized for my personal preference. Because if I tell you, hey, I like all this stuff, and you make the perfect meal plan for me to follow of a bunch of stuff that I like, there's no excuse as to why I won't follow it.
Yeah, the more info the client provides in the questionnaire, the better I can design the plan. And also, at any time you get sick of something, you just email me and I can give you. I have tons of options for like proteins, carbs, and fat. But so everyone's different with that, because I have some clients who actually prefer the simple stuff and just the same foods over and over, and then I'll have some who like want more variety. But that's on the client to email me and let me know, because like I said, I always set up the plans to give them the best results. So how to make it a lifestyle, though, because you said you couldn't, I always tell people nutrition is the most important part. But it's really hard to follow stuff, exactly 100%. If you can follow nutrition 80 to 90% of the time, and then do the workouts, do the cardio, bro, you're going to have really good results. The nutrition is by far the hardest part. So as long as you can follow it, more time than not. And then cheat meals, a lot of people think they need a cheat meal. Cheat meals are really, if you can't go 8 weeks without a cheat meal, like you need to be able to go some time without a cheat meal to see progress. And then you can start adding more food and start like enjoying yourself first. But you need to get that initial progress first. But how you make it a lifestyle is, like I said, you just, like for me personally, I don't eat super clean all the time. I'll do clean about like 80 to 85% of the time. So that's how I like make it a lifestyle, quote unquote, But you do need, you're in what branch of the military? Air Force, you said?
I was in the Army.
Okay, Army. So you have discipline though, bro. Discipline better than most people. So you need to have some sort of, you can't just eat junk food all day. Because, dude, if I ate whatever I want, I'd be super fat. So there has to be some level of discipline and self-control. What was your question? I forgot.
Oh man, I was just listening to what you were saying. But I didn't have a question. I was just putting my input on how you could. What to expect on your programs and with your programs, as far as like intensity, the cardio. If you're a woman, are you going to get really buff? I know there's that myth out there on women. They think they're going to get buff if they lift weights. If you can explain what man and female, it doesn't matter your size, if you're small, if you're big, what are you going to get out of your plan?
Good question. So I cater to any individual and any fitness goal. So if you look at my page, a lot of the clients I post are weight loss clients. They lose fat. But that's simply because most people's goal is to lose body fat. Some of the people who hire me, they want to bulk up and get big. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or they're like doing a powerlifting competition, or they want to I have a lot of people who join to get in better shape, like to join the Army actually. So although most of the transformations I post are fat loss clients, that's just because the majority of people, want to lose weight. But I help with any fitness goal, male or female. If you lift weights, you're not going to be bulky if you're a female. That's generally females get bulky from, you'll get bulky from eating too much food, and then hormones. Like the female bodybuilders are huge, but they're taking drugs. That's how they get huge. You don't get bulky from lifting weights. You get bulky from messing up with your hormones and then eating too much food. But one thing I did was say, so online coaching, what I do is online fitness coaching. So, it's popular now. Like a lot of people do it on Instagram and stuff, but it is different than personal training. Actually, let me say this is funny. You'll probably think this is funny. So I'll have a lot of people sign up. They'll just see one of my ads. They don't even know what I do. So they'll see one of my ads and then they'll pay for it. And then in the order, where it says the notes, it'll say like leave by porch or leave. Isn't that pretty funny? Like when you signed up,
some people
you knew what you're paying for though.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Anytime I spend $1 or $2, any of my friends will tell you I'm a cheap bastard. So I read the fine print.
So how did you even know what online coaching is though? Like how are you even familiar with it? Just through IG or?
How I found you specifically?
No, like how do you even know? Because most people online coaching, they don't understand like, oh, it's a written thing, written plan you follow, diet and workout plan that you have to, you're going to the gym or working out by yourself. It's not personal.
So yeah, I love working out. In the military, we worked out a lot. But sure. I wanted somebody that does it for a living to write out a plan for me specifically. I'm not a genius, I'm not a professional bodybuilder. I don't do this for a living, but it's something that I enjoy. So I was like, man, if I could pay X amount of money and have somebody write me out a professional meal plan and workout plan, I could use that forever. That's something that I could keep with me forever. That's amazing advice from a professional. It doesn't really get much better than that.
So you thought of that rather than hiring somebody in person you trained with though?
So my take on a personal trainer is that would be awesome. Me personally, I cannot financially afford that at the moment, but I would love to have somebody personally there, but I feel like I have failed enough in lifting weights to where I kind of know what the hell I'm doing a little bit.
Yeah. I asked that because I think people still, so it's a big difference between what I do and personal training in the gym. Like I said, when I first started my business, I did both. But I'll tell you some of the benefits of what online, working with somebody online are. First of all, it's way cheaper, bro. So what I charge for the whole 8 weeks is what one session from an in-gym personal trainer would be. So that's like, that's probably the biggest factor for most people, really, honestly. Yeah. And then second of all, online, you can go on your schedule. So it's not like, oh, you have to meet somebody in the gym at this time. So
convenience.
It's more flexible.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not talking crap of personal training because, it's great, but people, I'll say some of the negatives with both too, or with online too. The third is if you hire a personal trainer, they're probably not going to give you nutrition, a meal plan. They may, but they're probably not going to give you a meal plan, tell you how much cardio, tell you what supplements, etc. They're probably just training you through the workout. So you're not going to get as much information with it. And then, with the personal trainer, they'll probably just put you through the workout. They're not really going to assess your progress and make changes and stuff. Now the benefits of being in person though, and this is something that, do you follow my YouTube too?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so I try to post, I mean, there's got to be like 150, 200 videos there. And then there's a ton on my video page on Instagram, LBD_workouts.
Mm-hmm.
You follow that one too?
Yeah, I do.
So that one I only post videos on. But an online, I'm not able to see you there in person. So I'm not able to gauge your intensity or tell you how much weight to use. What I do for that is I have the videos of me doing the exercises so you can refer to if you don't know how to do them, but you'd be surprised. I mean, what you're doing.
I love the do's and the don'ts video that you make are amazing. They're amazing. I've learned a lot of things from watching your do's and your don'ts. So I thank you for that.
And then I also have the database though. No, because if I told you, hey, do a dumbbell fly, flat dumbbell fly,
mm-hmm.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, but a lot of people hire me have no idea. So I have a database to show you, what the exact exercise is. But being online, it is harder to get that in-person interaction to show you how to do the exercise. So I have some clients who say, hey, bro, is my first set, how much weight do I do? And I'm like, dude, I have no idea. I can't, I don't know how strong you are. So it's the benefits of everything. I mean, there's pros and cons of everything, but it is different than personal training. But in my opinion, the reason that I've been successful and the reason why, I'll show you, that's my, some winners from my transformation contest on my wall there.
That's pretty cool. I noticed that before we started recording. That's pretty badass.
Yeah. I'm going to add to that shortly here. But what is that? The benefits.
Online coaching.
Oh, yeah. Online coaching is you just I lost my train of thought. I was showing the pictures. I lost my train of thought. Oh, the reason why, I've been so successful, and then, a lot of my clients, people who followed are successful because it's simple and basic to follow, because a lot of these online coaches, they'll, when you sign up, you have to go to the website and log in. There's a portal. It's too complicated. It's like, bro, I don't even know what I'm doing here. So that's why that is something that I do tell people. I make things as simple as possible. And a lot of people, when they sign up and they see the plan, like, oh, I didn't know it'd be, is this easy? I'm like, yeah, dude, you just got to put in the work, I mean, I could get into more detail with that, like calories, and then the reason I don't like clients like counting calories and stuff like that. So how I give the plans, though, it's a specific food amounts, but a lot of people will be like, oh, how many calories am I eating? And I don't like doing calories or like counting macros. You know what that means, like counting macros?
Yeah, fats, carbs, proteins.
Yeah, I mean, you can. So how I do it, though, is, I mean, you've been through it. It's just the ounces and cups, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, but you can figure out the macros if you want. But the reason I don't like giving macros is because then people will just try to hit those numbers, and like they'll eat a Pop-Tart to get their carbs in. You know what I mean? I know from my personal experience of doing it, of going, getting in great shape myself, and then helping tons of people, is I do believe in following a strict, clean plan to get the best results, and it has structure too. And the feedback I get from my clients is they just like, the people who get the best results like being told, hey, dude, just tell me what to do and I'll follow. They don't want to figure stuff out for themselves, because then, like, why are they paying somebody for their help? So that's one of the big things I for real think why a lot of my clients see great results in all my transformations. I probably have one of the best transformations out of any coach. And I think that's because I try to keep things simple. Obviously the clients, they put the work in. I'm just the guide, but I try to keep things simple and easy to follow. And, there's no like guess, hit or miss. It's just, if you do this, it's going to work. If you stray off, you may not see as good results, but if you follow it, you're going to see great results. So, I'm very proud of what I do. And, as you can tell by the people on my wall, the point after's on my wall. And, but it is up to you. It's up to the client to follow through with it. And that is something that I hope, are you a member of my Facebook group?
Actually, I just got your email about that, I think yesterday, and I am going to join that group. I'm sure that's just people giving advice back and forth to each other, helping each other out, right?
Yeah. So that's something I started, the first time I didn't have that when you went through it the first time. I think I just started that like in February or March. But the reason I started that was, so it's a Facebook support group that only my clients have access to. It's like, I think it's like up to like 4,000 members now. So it'll be like past clients and current clients. And then, but I started that because with in-gym personal training, the person's there motivating you, etc. Being online, and I got tons of people. That is one thing where it's difficult for me to actually like push you individually. I try to do my best, like through holding you accountable with the check-ins, but I can't. And I actually have a cell phone now too, a business cell phone. Did you see that in the email?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, bro. So obviously, I don't give my cell phone number to clients. If you might know we're doing the podcast, but I have a separate phone. That's a business phone where it's literally me texting people. Yeah, so cool. I've tried to like really up my
interaction.
Customer service, I guess you could say. Customer service, customer support. So people can email me, obviously, like your check-ins and stuff, but you can text me, DM me on Instagram. Facebook message me. And then the cell phone is really like, it feels way more personal, when you give someone your cell phone numbers. That's something and I just started that too, like in February, March. But the Facebook support group, so it's a group of my clients. Well, it's all my clients, but people, it's a great outlet to get motivation and support, because I got tons of people and stuff. So, I mean, if you email me, yes, I'll, motivate you back, email you with, motivating words, but it's hard, for a lot of people, they want to like have a community, a tribe. So that's why I started the Facebook support group. It's awesome, dude. It's like up to 4,000 members. And then people, so an example of what people post is those posts like, hey, here's my chest workout today. Or like, it's very helpful when somebody might post, hey, I'm on day 3. I haven't seen any results yet. What's wrong? And then people will give them feedback like, hey, stick out, keep at it. It's only, you just started, stuff like that. So that's actually something that's really helped, like in all aspects,
I can imagine having that group, on the days that you're feeling down and out, or the days where you don't have that motivation or that energy to get up. I'm sure people post in that support group all the time, and they get that feedback, maybe not from you immediately, but from the other 4,000 members.
Dude, it's awesome.
Come on, man, you got it. Let's go. Because your plan is not easy, man. It's going to push you. I'm sure it's going to push anybody that does it. It's going to push you to your limit, but you're going to see and make results for sure.
For sure. And you also post stuff. Yeah, you definitely join it though. And you also post stuff if you're doing good too. Some people, it's just another way to hold yourself accountable. I guess that's a really good way to put it. Yeah, because when a lot of people will just post like a picture there every day, just to like, okay, if I'm going to post, I need to show up for myself too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that's really taken off, and I think it just started in like March or April. But once again, that's a plan.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm excited to jump in there and what people are talking about. Well, that's something I wanted to ask you is, what advice can you give to somebody where they're like, I just don't want to eat this anymore. I want to have a slice of pizza. Why, when people,
pizza,
when people feel like they're busting their ass, they're giving it everything they got, and they've been working out. This is going on week 3, almost week 4, and they get on the scale and they don't see their weight has changed at all. And they get discouraged. They don't want to do anything. They want to give up. What can you tell those people?
Couple things. First thing, and you're probably not going to want to hear it. Most people probably don't want to hear it. Is, are you really following the plan? So are you really eating all the food, doing all the cardio, training? And then they say yes. Second thing I'd say, are you adding any extra calories? Because a lot of people do, so extra, this is the hidden calories. So are you adding sauces like ketchup? Are you drinking only 0-calorie stuff? Because maybe like they may be drinking coffee, but then putting a ton of creamer and stuff. So you never want to add calories to your meal. That's like one of the biggest tips, honestly, for food. Now, what does that mean? That means you just eat what the meal is. Now, you can make the food taste better, but only 0-calorie or very low. Like Splenda, it's like 5 calories. Crystal Light is like 5 calories. Mm-hmm. So you can drink stuff besides water. Like I'll drink diet soda, I'll drink Powerade Zero, but it's all 0 calories. Oh,
yeah.
But it's all 0 calories. There it goes. It's all 0 calories, so it's not going to affect your progress, okay? So those are the first 2 things. Are you following everything, and then are you adding any hidden calories? And then if you say, yes, you're following everything and no, you're not adding any hidden calories, honestly, the first thing I would say is just, keep at it. It's only week 3, and that's what my coaching is for. Like, that's why you send me your update, and then I make adjustments. So if you're legit following everything, and you still, in 3 weeks haven't lost weight, I'm going to add and bump your cardio. I'm going to add more cardio, or reduce some food. So that's what I do as a coach. Like I'm your second eye. So if you're not making adequate progress and you're legit following everything, I'm going to make some change to make sure that you make progress. So those are the main 3 things I would say. And then, like as a last resort, and this is rare, but maybe you have something, you need to get blood work, and get your hormones checked. Because there's three huge hormones that affect progress in men and women. But that's probably not the issue. They're probably not following it, or they got to give it more time. Those are too many things. But the biggest thing, like I said, too, is the hidden calorie thing. Or are you not being as intense in the gym as you should be? Like, are you doing all the cardio? I would question those things first, and then say keep pushing, or then say, reassess your progress. And then, like I said, when you send me the check-in, if you're really not making progress, I'm gonna make a change. Because the workouts will change every week or whatever, but the diet and cardio, and this is something that I should say too, the diet and cardio, when you send me a check-in, if you're making good progress, there's really no reason to change anything. And that's something I think a lot of people, they pay for a service, and they just, so I've had some people be like, oh, I'm 12 weeks in, the diet's never changed, and I'm happy with my progress. Then I'm like, oh, you shouldn't change anything then.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, so that's my job as a coach too, to say, hey, you need to keep a level head. You're doing great. Keep on the same path. Do different workouts and stuff, but a lot of people think there's some like magic plan or magic foods you need to eat. I'm like, no, if you're not making progress, then we need to change something.
Yeah.
Or add more cardio. But the biggest thing is what I do is I provide like a second eye to assess your progress. But back to your original question, dude, the hidden calories thing. That's probably my biggest.
I feel like a lot of people don't understand how much a squirt of ketchup is, not only with the calories, but the sugars too.
Yeah. See, for somebody like me, I can get away with it because so the more muscle you have, the faster your metabolism is. Or the more muscle you have, the more calories you're going to burn just from moving around. So if I have a little catch up, it's not going to affect me because I'm training hard and I have a ton of muscle to feed. But if a normal person does, like, dude, it's going to affect everything, and that covers like alcohol. A lot of people ask if alcohol is okay. And I always say no, like it's not going to give you the best results. So it's not okay, or if they just have like 1 or 2 meals. I think a lot of people don't understand that if even having like 1 or 2 cheat meals off their plan a week, that's going to affect your progress a lot.
Yeah.
Like if I'm really trying to get in good shape, I'm not eating anything. I'm not eating any cheat meals or anything besides what's on my plan. You know what I'm saying? But then the blood work, I will cover it too. That's very important. Is the 3 hormones is testosterone, estrogen, and then TSH, which is if anybody is listening and actually wants to go to a doctor and get legit blood work, because a lot of people, some have no idea what's going on inside. So that is actually really important. TSH is your thyroid hormone. So some people, I have worked with, not many, but like a couple of people who like needed to get on thyroid because their metabolism was messed up. So that's not something I would do. That's something you need to do with your doctor.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't put that into an account. Going to get blood work done and really getting checked out.
So I'll do blood work twice a year to make sure everything's fine. And thyroid, a slow thyroid is actually very common. And that's something too with. So a lot of people who do low calorie diets for a long time, their thyroid will mess up the thyroid. So I always try to encourage with my with men and women, is it's a lot of food. I don't know if you noticed that too, or.
Yeah, no, it is a lot of food.
Yeah, so I try to have people eat a lot of clean food. Mm-hmm. So my whole philosophy is you have a lot of food to fuel the engine, and then you train hard in the gym and you do cardio. You never want to just starve away your fat, because then muscle's going to go away with it too. Mm-hmm. So I like to have people eat a lot of clean food, and that's especially important for women, because a lot of women will have, they'll do 1,000-calorie diets and stuff just to lose weight. So I'm a big believer in eating a lot of clean food to fuel the body for hard workouts and hard training.
Yeah, I feel a lot of people don't really consider, hey, if you lose 20 pounds of muscle and fat, you could get even better results if you just lose 5 pounds of fat. So
Yeah.
by going on those 1,000-calorie diets, they're kind of just killing themselves, and the result could be a lot easier and more enjoyable if they educated themselves a little bit more.
Yeah. And a lot of people, they want more like instant, instant gratification or whatever. So that's one thing I always try to have the diets, enough food to fuel you, but you still want to be, if your goal is fat loss, you still want to be losing fat.
So while we're on that particular
yeah.
subject, I know a lot of people eat foods fat-free. Can you please let us know how bad that is?
Man, when you eat fat-free, there's usually a lot of sugar in there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something. So when you go to the grocery store, make sure you look at the nutrition label on the back. That's the biggest thing. So look at that, and then you're going to look at the carbs and fat, or the calories, carbs, fat intake in there. And then the second thing you need to look at is the ingredients, the ingredient list. Because the more ingredients it has, the worse it is for you. For example, yeah, that's actually, and that's just important to take as to apply to your life indefinitely. Like you're eating, the more ingredients it has, like the more junk it has in it. So that's why for like peanut butter, I recommend all natural peanut butter, because the only ingredients is peanuts and then maybe salt. Where like regular Jiffy's peanut butter has like sugar, hydrogenated oils, etc. So no, the fat-free, and usually there's a lot of preservatives and stuff in there.
Yeah.
With the fat-free. But that's the biggest thing, like with milk, people say skim milk. Well, there's a bunch of sugar.
It tastes like shit too.
Yeah. And then actually, I'll tell you something else too, that this is like kind of, my mom was a big fat-free person when I was younger. She would always get fat-free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing too is if you're going to have a cheat meal, so I was on another podcast and they asked me if you could remove one thing from the grocery stores, what would it be? And I said frozen foods. Because the frozen foods is like, the frozen pizzas, frozen meals. Because my philosophy on that has been like, dude, if you're going to eat like a pizza or, I don't know what they have frozen. They got like the ready to go meals or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude, just have a normal pizza. Like, you're better off just having the normal food. So I do think you should treat yourself whenever you reach like a goal weight, or say you've been following everything super strict for 4 weeks or something. I don't think it's bad to have, quote unquote junk food, I guess you could say, every now and then, but don't have, whenever I have a junk food, I'll get like a real burger from a steakhouse and stuff. I'm not going like fast food or whatever.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I don't.
More natural.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the fat-free stuff I was never really, because usually you always gotta look at the nutrition label.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes total sense to me. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you, when I'm on a particular diet and I'm trying to get the protein in and I'm trying to eat meat, I have a hard time eating a lot of like chicken and ground beef and, meat specifically. So my question is, I take protein shakes to supplement for the protein. How many protein shakes is too much?
How many is too much? Like per day?
In a day, yeah.
So, well, first I always tell my clients they can replace any meal with a protein shake or protein bar. Protein bar, you got to be careful though, because there's extra sugar.
A lot of sugar, yeah.
Yeah, but you can. I'd much rather you have a protein bar than not have a meal at all. But yeah, protein shake, how many is too much? Man, if you have 5 meals, I would say no more than technically you could do every meal a shake, dude. It's not really good. But my thing with that is, and you're still going to have good progress, but who wants to have a shake 5 times? Like, you want to eat some food.
Yeah, even though you're getting those liquid calories in, you still feel pretty damn hungry.
Oh, yeah. Having a shake is totally different than normal food. So, I wouldn't do more than like 2 or 3.
Okay. Which will still give you about 40 or 60 grams of protein a day. So that's a good little amount from the shakes.
Per meal. Meal, 40 or 60, yeah. So I wouldn't say like more than 2 or 3, but I've seen diets where it's like 6 meals a day and then 3 meals, 3 shakes. 6 meals with 3 food meals, 3 shakes. So I wouldn't say, half of your meals coming from shakes is a lot. Like, I'll do 1 shake a day.
Mm-hmm.
post workout usually. I'll do two scoops post workout. But one thing you said about having trouble eating the chicken and ground beef, I'll tell you a few things here. So is it because you don't like the taste, or is it just hard to get down?
It's hard to get down, after trying to eat second, third chicken breast. It's like, oh man, this again, do I got to eat this shit? And after, a couple bites, my body is just kind of rejecting it. It makes me want to spit that shit out.
So there's a couple things with the ground beef, with both, but with the chicken, when I was eating a lot of chicken, I'd slice it up into really tiny pieces. And then I'd mix it with rice or mix it with salad.
To help you get it down easier.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And then also, I always tell people, you need to be eating clean if you're wanting to see your best results, but you can make your food taste good. Your food shouldn't taste bland, unless you want it to taste bland. So I'll put seasoned salt, hot sauce, soy sauce. Walden Farms is a company I like. They make 0-calorie sauces. They make like 0 calorie or very low. When I say 0 calorie, I mean like below 10 calories per serving. The ketchup, ranch dressing, it all tastes pretty, not exactly like the real thing, but all pretty good. So make your food taste good. And then something else I want to say real quick too is if you can't finish the whole meal, make sure you get the protein portion in. So the protein is the most important to build muscle and lose body fat. So if like your meal is chicken and sweet potato or chicken and rice or whatever, the protein. So the chicken is the most important part to get in, because that's something a lot of my clients will say, oh, it's a lot of food or whatever, so they can't finish it all, when they first start. And I always say, try to get the protein portion in, or you can replace any meal with the shake or the bar. But to answer your initial questions, I wouldn't have more than like 2 or 3 shakes a day. Because there is something to be said for, having whole food and letting it digest. It is a little, protein is protein, but it is a little different having actual food. So.
Okay. And last question, list versus HIIT. What do you prefer? And can you explain the difference?
So, well, first I'll explain the difference. So HIIT, high intensity interval training, versus LIST, low intensity steady state. So HIIT is when you do a sprint period followed by a steady period. Now, what does that mean? Sprint means you go as fast as you can. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're sprinting like a sprint. It just means you go as fast as you can, followed by a period where you go, a steady pace, a lot slower. Generally like 30 seconds fast, 60 seconds slow, 30 fast, 90 slow. There's a lot of different variations you can do. But HIIT is usually a shorter, more intense cardio versus LIST, which is low intensity steady state, where it's just you go the same pace the entire time. So walking on a treadmill, bike, elliptical, Stairmaster. Now, what do I prefer for me personally or for my clients?
Personally for you.
For me, definitely LIST, dude. So for my with my knees.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're a bigger, heavier guy, so going
I'm a bigger, heavier guy.
A lot less on your joints.
100%. And even when I was competing, I mainly did LIST. So for example, my favorite forms of cardio is incline treadmill, 6.0 miles per hour, 6.0 incline, 3.0 mile per hour. And I'll do that for however long, 20 minutes to 60 minutes, depending on where I'm at in my specific routine or whatever. Then I also like bike, cycling in the gym and then cycling out of the gym too. I was telling you in Vegas, I would always ride in Red Rock. I would start right before Red Rock and then I'd ride to Blue Diamond and back. I'd like drive my Jeep and I'd start before Red Rock and to Blue Diamond and back, which was like 26 miles or something.
That sounds like a good time.
Oh, no, it really was fun, for real.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it was awesome. The view is crazy. So I like doing that. And then Stairmaster, especially for women. It helps the legs. They're getting like a resistance training too with your legs and butt, so Stairmaster. But for me personally, I like LIST cardio. And that's what I do personally, incline treadmill. Now, I did want to say for HIIT cardio though, So you can sprint outside. My favorite machine for HIIT cardio is the upright bike. Just a regular
bike. Gotcha.
Because there's two bikes. The recumbent bike with the back seat,
Mm-hmm.
and then an upright bike where you're just, it's like the Lance Armstrong bike.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's not the spin bike. You could do spin too. But the reason I like the bike for HIIT is because it's the one machine where you can go as fast as you can, like push yourself as fast as possible without the fear of falling off, which sounds like silly, but so think about on a treadmill, you're doing HIIT, you're sprinting, you see these people run as fast as they can sprint. Something in your head is going to hold you back from going as fast as you can because it's on the, you may fall off.
Yeah.
Or on a Stairmaster.
The Stairmaster terrifies the shit out of me when I get the level pretty high.
Really?
I think I'm gonna fall every time.
Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So for HIIT, I do prefer the bike because it's easy to go as fast as you can. Now, some people who like sprinting. So if you like literally sprinting, running, sprinting, then do that. Also, some people would do it outside. But yeah, if I could choose one thing for HIIT, it'd be the bike. And then for me personally, I just do the incline treadmill. And
incline treadmill. Yeah, I like the incline Stairmaster myself. You were in Las Vegas in 2017.
2017 January.
During the rise of the Golden Knights, right?
Yeah.
So you seen them come here. You seen the city kind of cater around them and show them love and support them. And they had one hell of a season in that first season.
Oh, it was awesome.
Unfortunately, I was still in the military and I wasn't home to witness that and feel that love. Can you explain to me how it was like living in Las Vegas with the first, expansion team coming out and just basically holding it down for the sport world in Las Vegas?
Well, yeah, so I watched hockey when I was a kid, but dude, I never liked hockey. I just like the basic sports, baseball, football, basketball. My favorite sport is football. But I was never a hockey fan. And then I think the Knights started the year I moved to Vegas. So I moved there in January 2017. And I don't even know when the hockey season is, October or whatever. But that year was the first. So I went to a hockey game, and that was the first game I went to. And they played Colorado Avalanche, and they won 7-0. But going to the hockey game, they killed them.
Yeah.
Dude, going to the hockey, I was like, wow, this is actually really cool in person. So then I started following them and started following hockey. And now they're probably like my favorite. If I had one team or one sport, it would definitely be the Vegas Knights. But what did it mean? Dude, it was really now not being from Vegas. Being from Vegas, it would have been way cooler because they had, you could just feel like it was. Because in Vegas they played
that homegrown, our baby kind of thing.
Yeah, which I'm not from Vegas. I just lived there for 2 years. But you could tell a lot of people who were watching the games were locals, who were turned on to hockey just because they were there, just because Vegas started a team there, which was why I was turned on to because I didn't follow hockey.
Yeah.
And then what's cool is about the games too is that all the tourists, they would be from all over the world, obviously because it's Vegas, and they would be cheering for whoever they're playing, there would be a lot of fans of the other team too, because they're tourists. But yeah, it was really cool to be there for the first season, and why it helped that they made the Stanley Cup. That's
unheard of for a first year expansion team to make the championship in any sport is pretty crazy.
Dude, it's unheard of. And then that's if they were terrible, I probably wouldn't have been still be a hockey fan. So it helped that they were good. And they even made the playoffs last year too. They made the playoffs. But I'll tell you something that was cool for me being a sports fan is they played the Capitals, Washington Capitals in the Stanley Cup. And I went to game 5. So I went to the game that the Capitals closed it out of 1. And, it sucked that Vegas lost, but it was cool seeing Ovechkin. I'm sure you follow, hockey a little bit.
I know a little bit of hockey, yeah.
Who Alex Ovechkin is?
Yeah, I actually made a post on Instagram about him. I think he's an animal.
Did you?
Yeah.
When, after he won?
No, I think he's just one hell of a hockey player. I remember when I was younger and I would watch ESPN and
Yeah.
the little bar on the bottom would go across. I would always check his stats, and he's been tearing shit up my whole life.
Yeah, exactly. So I went to Game 5 when Washington closed it out, and I'll say seeing him, and I'm not a hockey fan either. I'm probably like you, but I follow sports and I know kind of what's going on. So I always heard of him.
Hmm.
But after they closed it out, then seeing him like hold up the Stanley Cup and then do the presentation, so seeing him finally win a championship was pretty cool, dude. That was honestly like one of the I went to a ton of nights games. Probably went to like 10 to 12 total. And seeing him win the cup, even though Vegas lost, was a really cool moment. It would almost be like seeing somebody in the NBA, like a really good player who's never
Hmm.
won, win. And this is like the best player in hockey, and it was his first Stanley Cup.
I would say almost like if Dan Marino would have won a Super Bowl, it
Oh
kind of
yeah,
been equivalent to that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was super. I mean, it was really cool for me to see because it was just like a moment in sports, you could say.
Yeah.
Uh, and
One of,
I was at
one
the
of the
game.
best players. Oh, my bad. One of the best players ever getting that championship that he deserves.
Yeah,
It's good for the sport too.
yeah, it was good. It was good for sports. So I guess that's not a Vegas moment, but it's a sport moment.
Yeah.
But hockey is is by far probably the best sport in person. On
Yeah.
TV, it's not.
I've never been to a hockey game. I've only been to the Pro Bowl in football. So I've never even been
Okay.
to a football game before. So I'm excited for the Raiders to come here.
Oh,
Whenever the
damn.
hell we can go to a football game, it's going to be a good time. But
I didn't even think.
yeah, who's your favorite college football team?
So I can get in depth with this too. I can get in depth with this. So my favorite college football team at the moment. Well, first of all, I was born and raised in Columbia, Missouri, so which is home of the Tigers, Missouri
Mhm.
Tigers. But I was never a Missouri fan, really. I was never a big college or Missouri Tiger fan. I mean, I hope they do good stuff, but I was never a big Missouri Tiger fan. My favorite. So I follow my favorite coach. Do you know college football? Good.
I'm pretty solid at college football, but there's just so many damn teams.
Oh yeah.
But I pretty much got a grasp.
So my favorite coach is Mike Leach. You know who that is?
No, who's Mike Leach?
So he coached. Well, now he's the current coach of Mississippi State. So I guess that's my favorite team now, Mississippi
Okay.
State. But he coached Texas Tech, Washington. He's coached Texas Tech from like '02 to like 2010, and then he's been at Washington State the past like 6 years. But
Mhm.
I'm a fan of him because of his offense. They do like the air raid offense, and they throw the ball like 60, 65 times a game. It's crazy.
I was just
They
gonna
throw,
say every year Texas Tech's quarterback has always killed shit.
yeah, yeah. So this started from Mike Leach though,
Yeah.
because he was at Tech in 2002. So, uh, so I just follow whichever team he goes to, honestly, because there's no offense like the one that he runs. There's teams that throw the ball a lot, but not as much as they do. They throw the ball like 70% of the time, 75%, which is more than anybody in college football. So I always found that offense to be interesting. So I remember back in 2003, I just picked a team to like, and I saw that Texas Tech was throwing for all these yards, so I liked them, and then I learned more about them. So I've been following Mike Leach and whoever he's coaching at just since like 2003, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty
But
cool.
he's
Not
coaching
most
Mississippi
people.
State.
Yeah, not most people follow coaches.
Yeah.
So that's pretty original. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Lucas, I really appreciate you jumping on the podcast and talking to me. I know you're a busy guy. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but can you let the fans know where to find you and your product and your service?
Right on. So all you gotta do is I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Lukas Duncan, Lucas with a K. Instagram is the biggest, the platform I put most of my content on, but I'm trying to work on doing more Facebook and YouTube. I got stuff everywhere. So just search my name, Lukas Duncan, in Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. And yeah, bro, I'm looking forward to your progress, and I'm glad you had me on. And thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And I start your 8-week program, I'm assuming within the next week.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on record and let you know that I'm going to bust my ass and I'm trying to make it onto your wall. So I know you have a lot of clients that you're working with. I want to make my progress picture stand out, so I'm gonna bust my ass.
I'm excited for it, bro. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, everybody. Oh, hell yeah, man. I really appreciate you. I mean, you're going to help me a lot more than I'm going to help you because you're already well so established. And I look up to you a lot. You are what success is in my eyes. You started from your own baby and you have built it into what it is today. So it's very admiring.
Thank you.
Well, everybody, that sums up another episode of Talk Smack with Mac. That one was for all you weightlifters or anybody that just wants to get in better shape in their life. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and check out the podcast on iTunes and Spotify and everywhere else. Talk Smack with Mac. Thank you so much.